So as soon as the conversation of Gen 6 fiber channel comes up, one of the first questions people ask is, am I really going to need that performance? I mean, 32 gigabit per second in fiber channel, that just seems insane. What's going to happen with that? And the answer in short is you will need it, right? So even if you think that you don't today, it will come around. It always does. Software always figures out how to consume all of the resource presented to it. This has been true for 30 plus years in the industry. So when you watch this progression, you're going to see the data types change, right? And entertainment's a good example of this. If you start thinking about 4K cameras moving to 8K cameras, and then just the number of layers that are in use, right? So where the number of layers in a particular composited image might be 3 to 4, 15, 20 years ago, now today, it can be 10, 12, 20 or more, right? Is some of the special effects films, it just gets to staggering numbers. So the content level that we're talking about is huge. And it's not just entertainment, it's rich content across the entire industry. You look at healthcare, the ability to move radiography around as just digital images. So MRI scans virtually never go to print anymore. X-rays virtually never go to print anymore. It's all digital imagery, but very high resolution. It's critical that the resolution be maintained for the doctor to be able to see what's going on, right? So as you start thinking about this, right, that performance level will need to be there. But performance is literally just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more built into the technology around Gen 6. When you look at what goes into the ASIC that we use for this, for most of my customer base, raw speed for the first 18 to 24 months, 95% of my customers won't be driven by raw speed. That won't be the reason they choose the new technology. It will be the other feature sets in the silicon that matter more to them, that allow the management interfaces that they need, right? So when you look at that, things like IO Insight, we live in an extremely virtualized world today, right? And in that virtualized world, you need to be able to see, you need visibility down to an application. I mean, we're in this for the applications. It's what people run the infrastructure for. So answering the application owner and telling him what's going on with his application, being able to look at the network, being able to diagnose the environment, being able to see what it is, and still provide that balance, right? So, these massive CPU complexes on the one hand, and then the data set that they want to operate on sitting in these high-speed all-flash arrays over here, what's the road in the middle? Right? You don't want that to be a single lane gravel road. You want that to be a massive throughway that allows you to move the data sets back and forth between the CPU and the storage at extremely high rates. You don't want any inhibition there, because what you're going to see is the progression of technology, the progression of applications is going to continue to consume this base. So no, we don't know everything that's going to be invented in the next 10 or 12 years, right? That could consume this, but it will come. It always does. And so the answer is you will need that performance.